Hey, everyone. How you doing? Welcome back. We're here for another episode of Breaking Glass, a podcast for glass blowers by glass blowers. My name's Kevin Beecher, and with me as always,
Josh Mosey. Good to be talking to you guys again. I know it's been a long hiatus, but
yeah, 420 was like our last episode. We were just talking about it, and we just kind of took a little bit off. We went up to the camp. Yard work.
busy summer. I'm sure you guys have all just been super busy.
Yeah, that's the sad part. We're not. We're basically stuck in the house doing nothing
but
except
it's
yard work.
But you could definitely make an argument that it's hard to talk about an industry when it's not happening at the time.
Yeah, it's all vicariously through internet, like
Yeah, I mean,
other people's lives, everything else.
How do you even define something when there's no shows, there's no ability to go out and shop for it? I mean, everything up to a certain degree could almost be called a virtual industry for the past couple months.
Yeah,
because that's where all that's been taking place.
We are pretty much, at the will of everybody, the world, the internet. It was one of them crazy hornets, wasn't it? It looked like one of them. I don't know. It looked like something
Murder
like
hornet.
that. We're outside today. We thought it was such a beautiful day. The sky's blue. It's not windy, no rain. So we're out in my backyard, and it's awesome. I wish we could do this like this every time.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day out. It's nice.
So yeah,
it's good to be outside.
We can't go nowhere. Like I said, there's no events. Everything's been canceled.
In fact, even yesterday, there was the most recent cancellation, if you hadn't heard yet, that the Pipe Classic. Tito came out and wrote a letter to it. I actually didn't read it all the way through, but I got the gist of it just by the announcement. And, of course, they'll be back next year.
Yeah.
But, understandable. And probably just it's good to make that type of decision with enough time. You have to make a decision at some point because people plan around that stuff. So,
well, that being said, we just announced today.
Yep.
So we feel that we're going to go through with Melt this year. We're a couple months out. We're in the middle of July or June. And, Melt's September, 9th, 10th in that area. So, this, like you said, he wrote a big post today. He put it on Facebook and, shared it on Instagram. And, we're not going into it lightly. We want to make it safe as we can. We want everybody to feel safe. So we're going to take precautions. We're going to do what we can.
Yeah.
We're going to play it by ear. And then I said, there's still no guarantee that, we might get shut down by the government. They might be like, nope, you're not allowed to have it. As of now, you're technically where the camp's being held, which is, in the Poconos Independent Lake Camp.
North Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's more like upper, very, very top.
Northeast Central.
Yeah,
Northeast Pennsylvania. Sorry.
They're allowed to have. They were allowed to have the camp this year, but they decided not to. All the camps in that area, I think there's like 5 of them. They've all agreed not to have camp this year because the way they feel is, 500-600 kids coming to a camp. They say if one kid gets sick, then that messes the reputation up for the whole camp, which I totally understand. That being said, we would be a lot less than that. We're looking, hopefully, on a normal year, we're between 2 and 250 people, something like that from Melt. So hopefully, if everything goes good, we're going to say we're going to do it. But
yeah, we're acting with optimism, and we need to, just as for the same reason that they need to announce their cancellation, we need to announce to you guys that it is our plan to have it. But the announcement to have it is not a promise of it happening. And but we're going to go forward, and we're optimistic. We have a lot of things going for Melt. We were talking about earlier, but for the fact that Melt is an on-campus type of event. When you arrive at Melt, that's where you eat, that's where you sleep. You're not having to stay at a hotel. You're not having to go out multiple times a day to eat. It's very contained. And once you're on site for Melt this year, kind of be more of a we just stay on site for the week.
Well, we'll try to make sure we're arranged for that. We always got the food covered. You never have to worry about that. We will actually try to make sure that we talk to the speakeasy this year and make sure that we have beer delivery every day, so nobody will have to go out for alcohol.
Totally.
We'll work for all those different things.
Those things are all things we can figure out. But another advantage of Melt too is that the reality is we think about. I think it'd be safe to say about 85% of you drive to Melt, and that's one of the safest ways to travel. You really don't have as much exposure as flying, and so if you're within a 12-hour range of where we hold the camp, and you have I can do that in one day by myself, but even with 2 drivers, it really makes it pretty easy to hit that mark. There's a big portion of the population that falls within 12 hours of camp, and so we can be hopeful for that. But at the same time, we totally understand some people won't want to fly, or they won't be able to make that trip, and if that's the case, don't worry about it. We're going to have Melt again the following year, And that's just something that might have an impact on us.
It's definitely going to. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we're going to lose one of our featured artists.
Oh yeah, we
Aquarius.
did actually. Aquarius. I did speak to Aquarius, as you heard it here first.
But he's coming from Japan.
Yeah, he would have been coming from Japan.
they're not going to let that happen.
No. Well, yeah, it just doesn't feel like the right time, and but he'll be back next year. Obviously an open door for him to come back the following year. Chaw Glass is, for all intensive purposes, he's in too. He just, I'm giving everybody who's attending, as far as artists and things like that, the ability to, be flexible in what they're doing. If it gets close and for something comes up, we just have to let people, make the best decision for themselves. But
yeah, we're not gonna
as
hold
of
it
right
against
now,
anybody.
he thinks it's something that he'll be able to do. So and we have enough great artists that attend that we're going to be able to put, you'll definitely be able to put something together for you guys.
We're heading back up. What's the day? Friday. So yeah,
It's
we're
Friday,
heading back up on Wednesday. Me and Josh are going to go up with a couple other people. We went up once in May, and we remodeled some more cabins. We're going to go back up for another week and do another couple cabins. I plan on going back up in July for a week, doing some more cabins. So hopefully by this year's meld, everybody that comes is going to be sleeping in a brand new, uppercase cabin.
Yeah, the
It's gonna be a
cabins
lot.
are great. I mean, the difference is night and day. You can go on our Instagram page. We've posted some before and after pictures of those cabins. It's unreal. If you've been to any one of the first 4 melts and have been in the cabins, you know that they are just
Plywood
basic
walls
as
and
fuck.
basic as shit. Now they're going to be just all
No, they go in now and then you feel
Naughty
like you're
Pine,
in a
tongue and
pimped
groove,
little cabin.
new
with-
bathrooms. They're putting new sinks, new toilets.
all new fixtures, toilets, showers, everything. And you're gonna you'll be the first people that ever use them.
Yeah, you will be the first people if you
because they're
come
not
this
gonna
year.
have camp this year. So
Yeah, because no camp's
yeah.
happening. Nobody will be staying in them.
break
so-
those shitters in, you monsters.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
You'll be pooping in a fresh toilet.
oh my god.
A fresh toilet.
Yeah. And you'll be clogging them.
Yeah. Poop flush.
It's on you
twice
this
flush.
year. We're coming down hard on you cloggers. If it's not flushing, you just don't use that one. Okay, everybody? God, how many times do we have to say this? It's the truth, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta have to. That's one thing that they're gonna have to do for us because they're not gonna be ready for it. Normally they already have the signs up on all the cabins that says poop flush
Oh, yeah. They need
or
that.
flush. Yeah, flush poop,
Poop flush.
poop flush, wipe flush.
Yeah,
That's
poop
what the
flush,
sign.
wipe flush, yeah.
Everybody that comes to Melt knows that joke because inside all the toilets there's a little sign to say poop flush, wipe flush.
I thought that made a great hat pin or
Yeah.
a T-shirt or something.
We should have made that like
Yeah.
one of our melt
stickers.
things. We should
yeah.
get that. And maybe Farrar can make that a tattoo this year.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a great tattoo. Yeah, for sure.
Just tell them that any way you can get it is on your ass.
yeah. Yeah.
Farrar would be like, fuck you guys. I
Yeah.
quit.
So yeah, we're optimistic. We'll just have to see how it goes. Melt is 2 months away. It's a lot of time actually, but we're gonna kind of start tentatively moving forward. And so I hope you guys will get on board with us. And
Yeah,
Come
like
and
if
attend
you
Melt
see
this
this
year. It's gonna be
podcast, you're
crazy.
planning on coming, reach out because we need to start getting our affairs in order. We need to know who's going to come, who's planning on coming.
yeah,
Hopefully, him making this post today, we've already got a lot of comments. So hopefully, people start really reaching out to us and
Totally.
be like, "Hey, we're coming.
if we're gonna do this, we need the real numbers. It's always nice that everybody kind of, we understand just that people tend to put things off, and glassblowers are no different. And we get so much of our ticket sales and stuff are like 30 days before melt, and that's actually often is stressful for us because we believe you guys are coming, but it's still not. The proof isn't there at that moment. So this year, if you want to see melt happen, get your deposit in and buy your ticket and start paying on the ticket you have your deposit on, because that's going to be the way you let us know that you really want melt to happen. And
Yeah, I'm gonna be sad.
I don't
if
like
we
to
get
make
up
it
there and do
personal,
all the work and then like nobody shows up.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. No, I don't think that'll happen. Everybody I think is pretty chomping at the
Yeah.
bit to get out of the house and go do something fun, exciting. That's pretty much the best time to do that. So
Yeah.
So all right, well we talked about melt.
Yeah.
What we got a lot of stuff that happened in the last
Wow.
2 months. I mean, the world's fucking crazy. Just batshit nuts. I don't even know where to start with
Yeah.
that. We're gonna try to stay away from the politics of it. just
Yeah, we
'cause-
didn't want to go into that, but we promised our producer that. But we did say we'd talk about things related to the glass industry, so we can have that same conversation.
if it
if
refers
we-
to glass.
We can. Well, I got 2 words for you: dabbing, granny.
Oh shit.
So
So this was a good one.
yeah. Well, at first, before we get to the meat of that talk, I do want to say right off the bat, I'm bummed. Boro News had been back. It had been strong. It had been going through this like a few weeks of like really frequent posts. They had stories. They were always reposting people's messages that they were sent.
Yeah.
Like, you
On
know
their-
what, if
on
you
their
want to
stories.
say that to us, let's have this conversation out in public. They didn't seem to want to hide anything. I always respect that. And then ultimately they got shut down again on Instagram by a group called World of Glass or Monkey Boy Glass or Mayan Gordon, I think is the name. It's one
And
of
they
those.
shut them down. Why?
It has one of those kind of pretentious
Did they just
pronounce
they
my
just,
name right.
Did they just
things.
report
I'd
them?
have to- I'm from a town with a lot of people like that. What's that?
Did they just report them, or is that?
Well, he was really calling them out for their exploitation of people's content. Monkey Boy and World of Glass on their TikTok account with 1 million plus followers, they almost exclusively, I mean, I want to maybe let's say 80%. 80% of their posts are just videos that they take from glass artists and then they post them. And then the crediting that they do is really loose. Sometimes it's credited, sometimes it's not, and then sometimes when it is credited, they don't really make it, and they don't give you a direct path to that artist. Like, they might say an artist's name, but they don't, an artist's art name isn't their real name, or how you find them on Instagram. Unless if they're taking that content, they need to also be saying, this is how you find this person, or this is where I got this, because it has it's definitely misleading not to say I got this from somebody. And Boro News was coming down hard on them about it, but they definitely have the pull and following and made enough complaints about it. And he came at them hard. I mean,
Yeah.
he was really going after them. And I think what ultimately did it, but I don't know how it translates to Instagram, is that she did something live with another YouTube influencer whose name I don't know. And during that live event, all of a sudden the glass community showed up and just shit on her.
Yeah.
And I think it was that was the thing that just, she wasn't having that. And then the next thing you know, Boro News is gone.
And that was
pulled down.
that was after the dab and
That was after the dab and granny thing.
I mean, I know they caught a lot of slack over that. I mean, they were just kind of calling out what they saw.
Absolutely.
And I know there was people that jumped to her defense, and there was people that didn't,
Mm-hmm.
and there was people that were like, coming down on her pretty hard.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we've
people-
talked about her in the past. I don't know her as a person. We talked about her being judges at events
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of things, and I always said that I didn't see where they came from, because all she really does is support Chinese glass.
Mm-hmm.
And but then what'd she do? She dropped the N-bomb.
Yeah.
Which you can't be doing,
Yeah.
And she kind of, I watched the video multiple times.
Yes, I
And
did too.
people said that, she was doing it just to talk to her. She was joking around. I don't know how she was doing it, but she basically did it.
Well, she was telling the story of how her daughter had used the word while in prison or something. That's what I want to do. But I'm pretty sure it was like she was recounting a story
But
about it.
the problem with
and
that is the way she said it.
there was a tone.
And there was a tone to
and
it.
a lean into it. That's
And
why they call it the
yeah.
hard R.
Yeah.
And that's what people were like, that ain't no like somebody who's tentative about it. And most people, and when you're speaking to 1 million
Yeah,
people.
that's the thing. She has that many followers,
Yeah.
and she has that many people that watch her on a daily basis, smoke weed and drink beer and do whatever the hell she does.
Totally.
That's just,
Yeah.
you just don't. That's
You're
a no-no.
accountable when you have that type
and
of
you're
platform.
and
That's
basically,
why
I would
we can
say-
still say whatever the fuck we want to say, right?
Yeah.
But so fuck dabbing granny. No, but no. It was kind of bullshit. Even her apology was it. She came out. She posted one, took one down.
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of sincerity to it to me.
So I don't even know. I actually haven't kept up with all
Yeah.
of that recently.
Well,
Is she still on there doing her
Oh
thing?
yeah. Oh, it didn't even touch her following in
No.
terms of like her YouTube following and stuff like that. And
Just the glass
you know,
community.
yeah, it was. But again,
I mean, I know a lot. I mean, I seen the blowback from all this on, like, Torch Talk and all these different things. People talked about it. I think she lost the majority of all them people.
Yeah, I think the people that are actual like glass blowers and stuff like that feel like that they took a little bit more of a stance.
Yeah, I wonder
on it.
what the stance is going to be for Champs using her as a judge or any of that kind of stuff anymore.
I don't think she'll be back as a judge. I'm sure she's kind of. I would think she might be able to come back as far as like her YouTube numbers and Instagram numbers and stuff like that. But I think she'd be hard pressed to make an appearance at like those type of things and expect to be a judge or something like that. They would take so much shit.
Or I could just see people really just going after her at these events.
Yeah, totally. We're not a community of people that actually politely be quiet or forgive.
There ain't no forgiveness here, motherfucker.
Yeah,
You cross me once, you're fucking done.
No, people speak out in this group. That's something
Well, yeah. So then the Boro News got taken out after that.
So the Boro News came out after that. But they were, like I was saying, the thing that was cool, they were really getting some traction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were.
Well, they only had a couple thousand followers.
Yeah.
But they originally, when they first came out, they had 12,000 followers. And then,
and
then they
like
got shut down, and then they
up.
just dropped down. And then whenever they came back again,
Well,
for some reason they never jacked back up there.
That was, in my opinion, that was the success of the first group that brought them down. That group brought them down, but then also picked up a bunch of fake Boro News pages. So that is what hurt them that time. They went from all those followers, and then all these fake pages showed up. And I think when that happens, people aren't willing to just like sign up for the 5th Boro News page because you don't know which one's real. And you realize that some of them are also people actively working against the Boro News. So if you like the Boro News, you're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be giving them any sunlight. You want that to die.
But here it comes down to that. It was satire. It was meant to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people take it with a grain of salt. Some of it was a little bitey and a little jabby.
Well, that, I guess that comes back to what I was saying about this, this moment event. They've had that energy that was going, and it was decisively different than how they had been. Everything up until that point had been satire, but when they called out Dabbing Granny, that wasn't satire.
No, that wasn't.
And when they called out Maya Gordon, they're saying, no, you profit off the content. I think it was that again. You can send me the right numbers, but I read this shit. I'm gonna just speak off the hip. She makes $3,000 a month off of TikTok because she has 1.4 million followers and all these followers on YouTube. So she's monetizing the content of artists and not really crediting them and not doing it with their permission. And then if you actually, then you can start to make it personal and then be like who is she in Glass and like what's her skill level and who is she to have this type of big a voice and platform. She's even now admittedly trying to go into more of a marketing direction, which is like, well, yeah, there's that shows your passion for Glass.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Back to it. Boro News had ceased to be satirical and was actually doing this, and they were even lobbing out. There was a couple things that they had lobbed out, like, "Hey, we've got our eye on you," like the chick that won the Forged of Fire or the Glad. What's this thing? So that wasn't.
We talked about that
was
a lot.
The created post was satirical, but the comment on the artist's skill level and abilities was there. And again, like if in that artist's defense, her work is really conceptual. It's not about that. And I don't think she had some ability. She made a nice egg, I think, if I saw
potato.
An egg. Yeah, potato, whatever.
It was a potato.
But I still stand by them. Her overall skill and ability isn't there, and I don't really have a huge place in my heart anymore for purely conceptual artists. Yeah.
We talked, like I said, we talked a whole bunch about that.
So Boro News had shifted. That was the thing. They were being.
They
so
still
that's
had,
what I'm saying.
They still had some funny. They had some money. The Mickelson one was
the
fire.
Mickelson. They were.
That was fire.
They were still dropping fire satirical
the Dakota
stuff.
one. The Dakota one got a little harsh. I noticed, and I saw he deleted everybody. So he probably ain't gonna watch this show because he deleted me.
Yeah.
And,
well, I don't think he deleted.
Here's the situation. I saw after they posted that post, he went on there and was crying around. He's definitely known for crying, and he had a bunch of followers that were following him and bitching about it and all that stuff. And then he must have. I don't know how he actually. I don't know if he took the time to go through every post and delete every person that. Is there an Jeremy? Is there like an app that you can use that filters all these people out?
He could have gone through, screenshotted every comment person's name, open that up on your iPad, and then you go on your phone. Because
he deleted anybody that liked the post from the Boro News. He blocked them and defriended them, which is pretty crazy because it was hundreds of people that he.
Just made a list.
Yeah.
But just you could go scroll through it, screenshot it because you can't cut and paste it. It's just like you could only take it. So then you'd have to just have that and go through, and then it's predictive typing after that. So it's not like you have. It's
Well, that's just still pretty bizarre that you're a glass blower and you're like doing this thing, and he
professes to be a comedian,
a self-proclaimed comedian.
Yeah, so like I will agree, Dakota's was meant to be satirical. And Dakota obviously takes himself way too seriously, and that was the moral of that story. And maybe he is a nice guy. Actually, I like this conversation because I actually don't know who the fuck he is. And so it's like one of the few times where I don't.
Well,
have to polite. So
we always talk about him crying. He's been known to break down crying in competitions.
Totally. Hey man,
I was crying at the Glass Masters
day.
This year at Champs. I saw pictures of him crying, and I saw like Matty White putting his arm around him, consoling him, like it's okay, buddy, because he didn't place.
Yeah,
so
that's a rough one. That'll be on the internet forever.
Yeah,
and I also screenshot it. So.
That meme. Oh, there's somebody made a meme about that. Like I said,
I screen recorded it.
It was good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was rough. But you took yourself way too seriously, bro. You should never have done that. You got so fired up. You can't sit there and ask people to follow your comedy and then not take a joke. That's just in bad form. Yeah. Bad form, sir. So, but again, that was but hey man, Dakota played it hard and tried to get him taken down. Boro News got warnings because of the post that he put up about Dakota, and Dakota made that happen. And
yeah, I'm actually shocked. Like I said, I just can't believe the dedication it took to go through and block. And it was just hilarious if you read the post on that original thing. It was like, dude, he blocked me. He just blocked me.
Yeah.
Like, he was knocking off people left and right.
And then every other one's also, I blocked him years ago. Yeah, it's like a beautiful play-by-play of the death of Boro News, this most recent death. But hopefully we'll be back. Boro News actually even it's funny, right before, I think they kind of knew it was coming because they made some comment like, you can get rid of us, but we can come back. I will say this. I screenshot every Boro News photo this time and all their text.
See, I've been doing all their stories. So like
I did tons and tons of
because I was having a hard time reading them. I just actually found this out. If you don't know this from the story, but if you hold your thumb on the story when you're reading it, it actually stops it so you can read it because they move so quick. I didn't know that. I was like, that's why I went through and screenshotted them all so I could see them. And then somebody's like, oh no, you just hold your finger on that and it pauses it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm a moron. That just shows you how much I know about technology. I'm an idiot. Yeah, pro tip, just a tip. Well, what else do we got?
Well, yeah,
there's so much.
I want to say, good job, Boro News. Come back.
Yeah, come back.
The world needs Boro News.
Someday we'll come up with a way that we can actually interview.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Totally. But yeah, you did change. You did. If we were gonna talk, that would be the thing I'd ask you. I'd be like, all right, let's just be straight up. At that very end, the flavor went from like, this is real stuff, and it was getting good. That's when it got spicy. So anyway.
Sorry, Grub.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, Granny. I was gonna say.
Oh yeah,
sorry, damn it, Granny.
Yeah, man. Hey, best to you, but you were totally wrong on that. You're totally wrong. What else we got?
Well, like I said, we haven't done nothing. Like I said, we're trying to get back in the shop, trying to work. The news is like terrible, so
yeah,
all you hear about is bad stuff every day.
It finally came out, of course, between last episode and this episode.
What?
My invention of the Terp pearl.
Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, I'm sitting beside the invention of the Terp pearl. Yep. That was a pretty good story.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm surprised the Boro News didn't pick that one up.
If they might have been down during that time. They might have been down during that time.
So Josh got asked to do. Well, he actually just went out on his own. Was making some Terp pearls he's like, I'm just gonna make some Terp pearls. Everybody else is doing it. I'm gonna do it. So he made a bunch of them. He sat there one night. Well, the funny story is, the first night he sat there and made I don't know how many 40 sets of them.
Yeah.
And then the next night he's like, they're all too big. I gotta fix them all. So he sat there and reworked every one of them and shrank them all down because they were too big.
Yeah, they were like, and they were all just about anywhere from, 0.5 to 0.9 millimeters too big at the max. It was,
and I wouldn't know this. I have zero clue about any of this.
Yeah,
but anyway, he posted up a picture and tried to sell some of these things and said they were Terp pearls. And some dude got online and just attacked him and said, I invented the Terp pearl, and every time I use that, you have to give me credit for my name or whatever. So Josh went out on his own like he always does and instigates and he basically just did a whole competition about making the best meme for Terp pearls, and basically said he was the godfather, inventor of Terp pearl. So if you've been on the internet or social media and you probably follow his post or follow any of that crap, you'll see like what would you say it was like 1886 or some shit? I don't know.
Yeah, there was.
It was like Josh Mosey invented the Terp pearl.
I kept saying 98 for some reason. I just kept using that because that's when I started blowing glass. So I kept using that. But yeah,
but they were fucking hilarious. I was great because I was getting messages from people and they were just like, what the fuck's he talking about? I'm like, dude, it's just some crazy deep story. He's just basically fucking with. He basically did a whole campaign to troll one guy.
Yeah, it was
that
fun.
one guy is probably just so pissed off and just hating life, wishing to God he never said a word. Because
Yeah.
it's all over Torch Talk now. Like we went on Torch Talk last week, and like I said, we did a big shout out to that.
Yeah.
Just everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was fun.
That was funny.
Yeah. He really and the full story too is that when he did come after he came after my little dick Terp pearls because there was some boiling from the flesh colored thing, and I with those ones actually weren't for sale, so it didn't matter. They were on my page. They were just like ones I made, but he came out and was just like, you can't have that, and it was on my regular Instagram feed, and I was just like, I'm just deleting your comment because it's just that's not what my feed's for. Just it's not an open invitation for you to fucking come over here and be a dick. So yeah, and then that's when he went on to Torch Talk and tried to blow me up on there, and Mike fortunately got rid of the post because it broke the guidelines of Torch Talk. And yeah, and that's where that's where I originally saw the post.
You actually had a competition for it though, right?
Oh yeah. The
Somebody win that?
competition. Oh yeah, I gave away good prizes. I hope all those. In fact, I'll shout out my winners here. But I gave away really good prizes for that event, and I made 10 different I invented Terp pearl memes, and you just had to repost it on your page because I wanted it to be everywhere. And so like you just always, and I told people to enter as many times as you want. So like every 3 days for like 9 days, I dropped 4 new ones and just said, hey, repost this. So that because I
pretty hilarious.
I wanted him to see it or whatever that.
You know that guy is seriously just like just dreading the day that he ever like said a word.
Yeah,
like that was like ultimate trolling.
I will give this to them. He never like came out and was like I never saw him post anywhere like fuck that guy. I invented the Terp pearl. So I respect that from him too.
Well, just so you know, I mean, it's just known now that I invented the Terp slipper.
He did invent the Terp slipper.
I had no clue what that was up until like a week ago, and then some dude came online and was like, "Hey, can you make me a Terp slipper set?" I was just like, "What the fuck is that?" And then Josh was like, "Oh, that's this." And I was like, "I have no clue what the fuck this shit is. You guys are way beyond me." So apparently, a Terp slipper is a big marble, a smaller marble, and 2 little marbles.
Yeah, and I would even say it's a small marble, a smaller marble.
Well, the little ones are 4 millimeters each, which
Yeah.
is tiny. The next one up 6 millimeters, and then the bigger one was 20
Yeah,
millimeters.
20.
Now,
20
this
is
is just
small. 20
this
is like
is just
less
what I'm
than
told,
an inch,
and this
yeah.
is what I made.
Yeah, they can be arranged. I saw those. I've seen a few millimeter variants in the large one. I think Piper Dan was doing up to 23 millimeters. You know?
Shit, that 3 millimeters.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that's a lot when it comes to these things. Like I said, I was over less than a full millimeter.
Damn, Piper,
on mine.
you are a madman.
Yeah.
3 millimeters bigger than mine.
Piper's coming back
Jesus.
to melt this year, 100%.
Nice.
I'm super excited about that.
So anyway, yeah, the Terp slipper. I don't even know what that does actually.
Uh,
I saw a picture of a banger that just had the 3 marbles in it. So
well,
I guess
the
the
large
bottom
one
one's
is
thin?
kind of like the
carb cap.
It's like the carb cap of the thing, yeah. And then the second one is also kind of capish because it sits on another.
So does that suck down or does that spin or just sucks down?
It just allows like a ball. I think it's like a ball.
Do you have any
gasket.
idea what we're talking about? That's what we're talking about. There's
So
little marbles.
So when people are doing dabs, they drop these little tiny Terp pearls in there, and they have to be very small because once they're too big, it's not going to really work. And when you put your carb cap on it, and these directional carb caps draw air in one way, so pretty soon those marbles are spinning around, and they're picking up oil on their surface, and you're releasing more and getting more out of it from surface area, and probably always getting cooler hits too. So, but that's what Terp pearls do. But now they have one. So if that wasn't complicated enough, now they have one where you put those in, and then there's like a hollow tube that comes up and another little ball sits on that one, and it's like a gasket. So when you're still drawing in, and then it gets around that one, and then at the very, very top, you seal the whole thing with a larger one. And yeah, it's like,
what he said, because
yeah,
it's beyond me.
That's too much science to smoke weed.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me think of like, have you ever seen those memes about like, this is how white girls hit a bong, and they're like doing like yoga and smoking a bong in some dumb position? That's what smoking out of those things made me like, this is how.
Well, hey,
this
I
is
made
how,
it. I just shipped it out today. I had no clue what it was.
Yeah.
But I just had a caliber and calibrator. And we just, I can make that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're fun to make though. God damn, I'll
The
make them all
Terp
day. Yeah.
Well, they're
I
quick.
like making them, and they're satisfying. I like them, and
I think they're.
the ones that I've made with the millies. I've made some really nice, clean ones with special millies that nobody else can have.
I've only made a few, but they're just so
Yeah.
small and easy, and just like I was like, well, what do these even sell for? He's like, oh, they're selling for like 10 to 20, 30 bucks, and then we saw some people selling sets
Oh.
for like $400.
Brandon Martin sold a pair of them for $350.
They're this big. I mean,
yeah, two of them fit on the head of a dime. $350. Good job, Brandon.
yeah, Brandon.
And then
Good job.
Gonzo with his Terp Storm sets, $120 for a set of 3. I
Oh,
mean, it's
Jesus.
fucking awesome. Ching all day, baby. We love it. That's
Now,
art. It's art.
Now, is his like a little Encomos or what are they?
No, it's 3, like a little tiny cloud, a little tiny lightning bolt, and a little drop that symbolizes the rain, and it's called a Terp Storm. And you use all 3 in there, and they spin around.
Does he draw those on? I didn't see them.
Oh, they're little solid objects, like, and they're all UV. He makes them
Oh, they're just like little
object. He sculpts a little
kind
tiny,
of like your little dick.
yeah, like the little dicks or little skulls, a little cloud, little lightning bolt, and a little raindrop, and it's a Terp Storm. And then they look like they work great in his function videos.
So I need to
but he
come
sold
up with
that
a
first one
little
for
mini one.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna make some like little ants or something.
yeah.
Does this mean dabbing's back up on the rise?
Yeah, maybe that.
I don't think it ever went anywhere. It's been nonstop, pretty steady.
Well, I think it took a hit from like pens and vape devices and the electronic stuff for a while, but I do think that it's very possible that Terp Pearl was really, and hey, all you young kids, let us know what the real history here is, but I think it's possible that the Terp Pearls came around from the Cartas and the electronic ones. I think that was an accessory for those at first, and they were small. They were like 5mm balls. They had to be, I think, for those particular devices. And I think then those got pulled over into rigs and things like that. But I'd love to know from somebody who actually takes dabs, because we don't. Neither one of us.
You do.
I use the little like Roadrunner more than anything.
Like I said,
Every once in a while.
I got my little pen here. That's about the good as I go with. Everything else kind of crushes me. I don't know. I can't like focus and get things done.
I can. I like a good dab. It's just so much labor to keep it clean and have your bang always clean. You got blah 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 blah. I just want to.
That seems like a pain in the butt.
Just want to smoke some weed.
I like weed.
No, I'm old fashioned.
He invented the Terp.
I invented the Terp.
That's how old fashioned he is.
But that was my final contribution to the conversation. I stopped there.
It was so great the other night when Sean Gold called and was just like, what's he talking about with that shit? I'm like, dude, I was like, this is all about the ultimate troll. I was like, that's the thing is, don't fuck with him, because like I said, he's coming after you hard.
Yeah. I have been, and that's actually been my go-to lately. I've been coming hard. It's been, and as I was just telling Red earlier, because he gave me the good sound advice of like, dude, don't even give it energy. Don't do it. I've actually taken a big break from all that, so it's kind of been nice to come back.
Like I said, I don't try to go on and instigate things when it comes. I'm not. We'll go on and do some little bit of political stuff, but I mean, what I don't like to see is what I'm seeing really hard in our community is people being attacked for making a post about something that really is not racist at all. They're just making a post. And then people come on, well, that's racist. And like, they're just calling, it's like crying wolf. They're calling racist on everybody and everyone.
But let's just say that some of the posts are not well thought out.
They're not well thought out.
So there's a lot to say about the post first. It's not like that people are just like, you're racist. That's the problem. They're poorly executed messages by people that unfortunately didn't have the good sense to just be quiet and maybe listen. And they're paying the price for that now. Sometimes unfairly, because I can speak to some of them that I know in their heart where it's at, and it's upsetting to see that, but that is what has happened, and yeah, we've seen it happen to a couple people.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
There's been a couple of them. I'm just like, wow. I was just like, but there again, you're right. The people might have just keep quiet.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're saying, just keep quiet. You know.
Everybody's looking for something to be
Everybody's looking for
yeah.
something, especially in this day and age. Everybody
Yeah.
wants something, and like you could just say anything.
fuel.
There's probably an equation, and the first thing is
We're probably
you're-
going to get some hate
yeah,
mail from this. People like, you guys talked about racism. I'm like, okay. I'm sure we're going to get something. Somebody's going to be like, you fucking assholes.
There's
You're
a little
racist.
equation for those people, and the first equation would be like, are you white? Are you old? Don't say anything. That's what. That's where I'm at with it, or not even old. I mean, it's just
Well,
a
like I
bit
said,
of-
we'd be like, hey, if you're over 50,
Yeah.
you're white, just keep your mouth shut.
yeah, totally, yeah,
You're going to get called out for being a racist.
yep, totally. You probably could have done a lot more, and now you have the benefit of just like being quiet and being like, oh yeah, shit. Just don't pull me into that shit. That's
Like I said,
all you can
that's
want.
one of the things I was more sad about in the last month
Yeah.
was seeing so many negative posts, and it's like at this time we should all be coming together. We need to be like uniting and be like, this is all for all of us, not for just for like this and this. We should all work together and don't just be calling out people, especially people that are friends. I've seen like a lot of that, but like calling people out. They're like, you guys are friends, It's just like you're talking shit, and do it behind closed doors. Don't put it out for the world to
Yeah.
see.
You want to believe? There's nothing that I've said I just can't imagine some of the things some people have said that like I want to believe. Like this person, why not just like directly contact them and be like, hey, because this is tell them how fucked up it is or whatever you think it is. But yeah, just the straight up platform to like tell the world. I find this offensive. I think some people are using the moment that way, and I don't respect that.
Yeah.
So it's that whole virtue signaling and stuff. I saw that happen with with Tom's thing.
Yeah, like I said, I think we're living in some dark ass times.
Yeah,
2020 is going to be one of those years that you're going to remember. I mean, it's like, hey, you remember 9/11 where you were? Do you remember fucking all this shit? People old enough. I wasn't allowed during JFK, but people know where they were, what they did. 2020, in 25 years, people will be like, dude, you remember 2020? Unless it gets worse. I mean, I'm not saying it can't get worse. We're fucking
totally. That is
the way this world's gone. I mean, we could see 10 times worse
the
than this.
coolest thing about this year will be in 20 years when we say, I lived through 2020.
And we're like, damn, I remember that time I had to stay in my house and didn't go to work for 6 months. Yeah, it's a freaky thing. And like we talked about all the glass events closing down, and it's like people were like, oh, this is the first time in how many years? It's like, that's the first time for everybody in how many years that nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And we're all living through it. It sucks.
Yeah, it is insane.
Me and my wife are gonna stab each other in the throat before this is all over. Too much togetherness, all day long, every day.
Who's your money on, Red?
Jelly
Oh,
Yeah, everybody would say that.
yeah.
She knows all the secret ways to kill me with all of her poisons. Yeah, I'm ready to go back to the camp for a week just to get away. Just a little break to get out and do our own thing. I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be the best trip for us because, for one, it's going to be, we've never been there in June to hang out.
Nope.
So we get to go up in the middle of June. The lake's going to be awesome. We get to work through the day.
Hold on.
Yeah? What are you going to say?
When is this coming out, Red?
by the beginning of next week, maybe even the weekend.
Well, we still won't be up there for 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. Anyway, go ahead.
He's like looking at me like, okay. Yeah, we'll be out.
Yeah, just remember, you're telling everybody we're gonna be. out
Well, we're
there.
just going up to do some work. It's just going to be a couple of us. He's just like, oh shit. Well, we do get hit up a lot with people trying to come up and help and hang out,
Yeah.
which we appreciate. But
Yeah.
we're only
No
going,
offense, crew. This one's private. This is like we're looking forward to. It's just.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 4 to
So
5
if you
man
haven't
crew.
heard from us, we don't need your help. We really appreciate it, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 4 to 5 man crew.
Yeah, we
It's
got
gonna be.
our 4, man.
I think they said they have like 7 or 8 people, like staff members for the camp this year that are just like they plan like what they're doing this year is remodeling the whole place, and not the whole place, but they really are. They're planting 190 trees. So they ripped out. If you've been there before, you've seen all those little bushes everywhere, and a lot of them were turning brown. It's because the deer were eating them. So they literally ripped out every bush that was in that place. They cut down all the trees around like the tennis courts where we set the tents up at. They planted trees in front of the cafeteria. Like 6 or 7 trees in front of the cafeteria.
They're all pointing different directions.
That was the only job I told him. I was like, man, whoever planted these, they didn't have them very straight.
They were crooked AF.
Hopefully those trees, I mean, they'll all find their way. They'll grow towards the sun.
Oh yeah.
But it was just pretty funny. But yeah, we're gonna go up there. The last few times we've been up there and worked, it's been we got down to 26 degrees.
I wonder if you think we can get a couple of their crew to help us this time since we're bringing less people.
To do what?
Haul wood in and out.
It's not gonna be that much. We're only getting 1,000 boards this time, so that's 6 bundles or some shit like that, which is awesome. We're doing 2 cabins, one small one, one medium one. We're gonna go back up, and like I said, we'll keep working our own pace, but we actually get to relax a little bit this time and enjoy it, and not be freezing our asses off. When you're up there and it's 30 degrees, it's cold, man. You're sitting under a heater just trying to keep warm. We're playing disc golf and in the cafeteria, breaking TVs.
Oh yeah, breaking TVs.
Just breaking TVs.
And taking names.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It
Decon,
did,
if you watch this, you owe us a TV. No, you don't.
No, you don't. We got 2 more.
I got 2 more. 2 more for you to break. Anyway, what else you got? Anything?
I don't know. I feel like we've
Covered all the
hit it up
bases.
pretty good. Yeah.
You want to do a Terp Pro giveaway?
Terp
Oh,
Pro.
hell yeah. I want to give a
Oh,
Terp
yeah.
Pearl away.
All right, let's do it. What's the competition going to be?
Oh, let's see your Terp Pearl memes. I think give me your best Terp Pearl invention meme and post it on your page. Hashtag Breaking Glass Terps.
Yeah.
Yep. Hashtag Breaking Glass Terps.
And we'll put that up
And-
on the Breaking Glass page when this comes out.
Yep. But you got to post them on your page, and then as you post them, I'll repost them on the
Well,
Breaking Glass
we
page.
should make it where we say some kind of secret word where they have to freaking watch the episode to enter it.
I want people to make the meme and post it on their page, and if I don't want to make it harder for them to do that. I just want
What do they got? Oh, they got to make their own
they
meme
got to
or one of
make
your
a meme.
memes?
No, they just got to make one, or you can use one of mine, or I'll announce it on the page too.
All right.
Do your 1990.
Yeah, I'll post that one up. Yeah, I'll repost that one up there for sure, and then people can use that one and put it up, and that'll be a great way
Terp
to
Pearl
kind of give
giveaway.
it a little bit of life.
We'll even do I'll make a set
Yeah.
giveaway. So we each get
All
a
right,
set.
cool.
We'll do first and second place.
Yeah, first and second place. Oh, I love it.
Slippers and pearls.
Yep.
Yeah. First place can pick whoever's they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we can even mix
yeah.
it. We can do one of
Yeah,
each.
yeah,
in each
totally.
one.
That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be one of each. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. You can't lose that way.
Yeah. Cheers.
Ding. To Terp Pearls and Terp Slippers.
Terp slipper. We can make a set of Terp slippers. I know what they are now.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do that for next time. We'll stretch it out.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some. We'll give them something else to generate.
Well, the good thing about the Terp slipper is you get the bigger marble, and we can make something you actually see in that.
Yeah.
Those little ones, you can't even see this shit.
That's the fun part. I've been trying to make them clean. I have a good magnification and really cleanly rendered ones. I've been. Yeah.
Who invented?
there's
I wonder who really did come up with the name Terp slipper and named it that.
Terp Slurper. Well, so that's the thing. The Terp Slurper isn't actually that big marble, but the name. And again, young crew, correct me, because I just kind of
these
I picked this
answers.
shit up through osmosis.
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't even know where
looking at
I
shit.
learned this, but correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Terp Slurper is actually the type of banger that it is, and it has this trough and tube and tube,
Okay.
and I think that thing is the Terp Slurper, and the marble that goes on it is the Terp Slurper marble.
Okay. the
And
little
thank
guys-
you. Good night. No, I'm just joking.
All right. All right. One more disc. One more disc. One more try.
For the money. God damn it. That 2020's gonna
Close.
suck.
Yeah.
Man,
I
that
missed
was
them
your
all.
best chance. It fucking sucks.
I missed them all. I hit the basket once. All right, man. Well, freaking great talking. We'll try to get
I'm
back.
pretending it's over. I quit a few
Well,
seconds ago. Do you see
we're-
me go quiet? I always thought it
We're
was
gonna try
over.
to get these back on track a little bit. We've been slacking. We're sorry. So hopefully we'll try to take the camera with us up to Melt and do one, and then try to just get a couple more solid.
Just like last time and the time before that,
what's that? What we promised?
where we say we would bring the equipment
Well,
and then we don't record anything.
we always take it. We just don't have time to do it.
Oh.
And it was also cold. I mean, when you're sitting there freezing, like
The road to another episode is paved with good intentions.
yeah, we're in June, baby. It's gonna be different.
Yep.
So, well, hey, thanks for coming out, and we will hopefully see you soon.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.